أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ذكر ختم خواجة النية. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. أستغفر الله 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 الذي لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم وأتوب إليه إنه هو التواب الرحيم. يا مسبب الأسباب يا مفتح الأبواب يا مقلب القلوب والأبصار يا دليل المتحيرين يا غياث المستغيثين يا حي يا قيوم يا ذا الجلال والإكرام وأفوض أمري إلى الله إن الله بصير بالعباد. رابطة الشريفة سبحان الله وما شكرا الحمد. Connect your hearts to Mawlana Shaykh Muhammad al-Haqqani al-Rabbani. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألم نشرح لك صدرك ووضعنا عنك وزرك الذي أنقض ظهرك ورفعنا لك ذكرك فإن مع العسر يسرا إن مع العسر يسرا فإذا فرغت فانصب وإلى ربك فارغب الله أكبر بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألم نشرح لك صدرك ووضعنا عنك وزرك الذي أنقض ظهرك ورفعنا لك ذكرك فإن مع العسر يسرا إن مع العسر يسرا فإذا فرغت فانصب وإلى ربك فارغب الله أكبر بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألم نشرح لك صدرك ووضعنا عنك وزرك الذي أنقض ظهرك ورفعنا لك ذكرك فإن مع العسر يسرا إن مع العسر يسرا فإذا فرغت فانصب وإلى ربك فارغب الله أكبر بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألم نشرح لك صدرك ووضعنا عنك وزرك الذي أنقض ظهرك ورفعنا لك ذكرك فإن مع العسر يسرا إن مع العسر يسرا فإذا فرغت فانصب وإلى ربك فارغب الله أكبر بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألم نشرح لك صدرك ووضعنا عنك وزرك الذي أنقض ظهرك ورفعنا لك ذكرك فإن مع العسر يسرا إن مع العسر يسرا فإذا فرغت فانصب وإلى ربك فارغب الله أكبر بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألم نشرح لك صدرك ووضعنا عنك وزرك الذي أنقض ظهرك ورفعنا لك ذكرك فإن مع العسر يسرا إن مع العسر يسرا فإذا فرغت فانصب وإلى ربك فارغب الله أكبر بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألم نشرح لك صدرك ووضعنا عنك وزرك الذي أنقض ظهرك ورفعنا لك ذكرك فإن مع العسر يسرا إن مع العسر يسرا فإذا فرغت فانصب وإلى ربك فارغب الله أكبر بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد الله أكبر بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد الله أكبر بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد الله أكبر بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد الله أكبر بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد الله أكبر بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد الله أكبر بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد الله أكبر بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد الله أكبر بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد الله أكبر بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد الله أكبر بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد الله أكبر بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب قد آتيتني من الملك وعلمتني من تأويل الأحاديث فاطر السماوات والأرض أنت ولي في الدنيا والآخرة توفني مسلما وألحقني بالصالحين. آمنا بالله صدق الله العظيم. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون والسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. إلى شرف النبي صلى الله تعالى وسلم وعلى وصحبه الكرام وإلى إخوانه من الأنبياء المرسلين وخدماء شرائعهم والأرواح متعبة ومشايخنا في طريقة النقشبندية العالية خاصة أهل الخواجة. الفاتحة.
لا إله إلا الله 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 لا بالله العلي العظيم. إلى شرف النبي صلى الله تعالى عليه وآله وسلم وعلى إخوانه من الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى العلماء المتقين وعلى الأولياء الصالحين وصالح ساداتنا الصديقين لله تعالى. الفاتحة. Allah, 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 حي 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 قيوم يا ذا الجلال والإكرام يا حي يا قيوم يا ذا الجلال والإكرام يا هو أشرف العالمين سيدنا محمد الصلوات على أفضل العالمين سيدنا محمد الصلوات على أكمل العالمين سيدنا محمد الصلوات صلوات الله تعالى وملائكته وأنبيائه ورسله وجميع خلقه على محمد وعلى آل محمد عليهم السلام ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. ورضي الله تبارك وتعالى عن ساداتنا أصحاب رسول الله أجمعين وعن التابعين بهم بإحسان وعن الأئمة المجتهدين الماضين وعن العلماء المتقين وعن الأولياء الصالحين وعلى مشايخنا في الطريقة النقشبندية العالية قدس الله تعالى أرواحهم الزكية ونور الله تعالى أضرحتهم المباركة وعاد الله تعالى علينا من بركاتهم وفيوضاتهم دائما الحمد لله رب العالمين. الفاتحة. إلى حضرة النبي صلى الله تعالى عليه وآله وسلم وعلى إخوانه من الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى العلماء المتقين وعلى الأولياء الصالحين وعلى مشايخنا في الطريقة النقشبندية العالية خاصة إلى روح إمام الطريقة وغوث الخليقة خواجة شبهاد النقشبندي محمد الأويسي البخاري وسلطان الأولياء مولانا شيخ عبد الله الفاز الداغستاني أستاذنا خواجة عبد الخالق الغجواني وروحنا سيدنا الشيخ سيد محمد نازم عادل الحقاني وسائر ساداتنا صديقون الله تعالى. الفاتحة. بسم الله
الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. سبحان الله سلطان الله نبي محمد عليه السلام. سبحان الله سلطان الله نبي محمد
يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. الفاتحة.
Inshallah, as you pray Maghrib, there will be rows at the back for those who are fasting. You can open your fast, and then inshallah we'll start the Khatam Sharif after Maghrib, inshallah.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
الله أكبر الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين أفحسبتم أنما خلقناكم عبثا وأنكم إلينا لا ترجعون فتعالى الله الملك الحق لا إله إلا هو رب العرش الكريم الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. يوم لا ينفع مال ولا بنون إلا من أتى الله بقلب سليم وأزلفت الجنة للمتقين وبرزت الجحيم للغاوين وقيل لهم أين ما كنتم تعبدون من دون الله هل ينصرونكم أو ينتصرون. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. استغفر الله استغفر الله الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين. اللهم أنت السلام ومنك السلام تبارك ربنا وتعالى يا ذا الجلال والإكرام. اللهم لا إله إلا أنت.
can ask those people at the back if you can move forward and join us for the program. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك عليه وعلى آله. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وسلم. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وسلم. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وسلم. رضينا يا بني الزهراء رضينا. رضينا يا Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
How are you, Saji?
Alhamdulillah, I'm okay. What can I do for you?
Sorry to disturb you, but I was wondering if you had a few minutes spare. I just wanted to ask you about something.
Just about to start Khatam Sharif. Go on, make it quick.
Basically, I was on Twitter and I saw this thread where this guy shared some really deep stuff from this Imam's book, and I think he said the name was Imam Ghazali.
It's pronounced Imam Ghazali, not Ghazali.
Yeah, sorry, that was it, Imam Ghazali. Anyway, I was reading this thread and I thought to myself that I really want to know more about him, and that's why I called you.
Let me get this right. You're expecting me to summarize the life of one of the giants of Islam in a few minutes, yeah? There's not a TikTok video, you know?
I know, Saji, I'm sorry. I just want you to shed a bit of light on it.
Alright, in that case, listen up then. Imam Ghazali radiallahu anhu was born in the 11th century, and he only lived for around 50 odd years, but in that time what he accomplished is unbelievable, as our friend Mujib would say. So much so that he was honored with titles like Mujaddid, which means the renewer of faith.
Sorry to interrupt you, Saji, but I've seen people write this Arabic phrase for Imam Ghazali's name. I've read it means something of Islam.
Yeah, that's right. Imam Ghazali is referred to as Hujjatul Islam, which means the proof of Islam.
But I don't get how someone can be considered proof of Islam. Is it similar to saying, I am proper Rajput?
Yeah, sure you are. Well, Imam Ghazali was given this title because the books and works he wrote are phenomenal. To give you an example, one of his most famous collections is called Ihya al-Ulumuddin. And it is commonly said that if we lost all the books written in Islam and only this one collection remained, then this collection would still be enough to make up for that loss. That's how in-depth and vast his works are.
Wow, mashallah, I never knew that. Please, Saji, tell us more.
Taking up a lot of my time here, but since you're asking about a sensible topic for once, I'll tell you some more. Every person should study and read Imam Ghazali's works. Why? Because Imam Ghazali went through certain experiences in his life that made him become closer to Allah and experience real Islam. And that difficult journey to Allah that Imam Ghazali took, he didn't hide the details of that journey. In fact, he wanted to help those like us. So in his books, Imam Ghazali, he tries to help us recognize all our bad characteristics, and then he gives us a cure for these illnesses. When you read Imam Ghazali's works, it's like he's holding up a mirror to you and showing you who you really are. Then, when you know who you are, only then can you start to know Allah.
Whoa, Saji, getting a bit too deep there. You know I went to Darwin High School, right?
Well, you asked for it. I'll tell you what, I'll give you one piece of advice from Imam Ghazali radiallahu anhu that he gave to one of his students. He said, reflect and ponder on this hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and it will be enough for you. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, one of the signs of Allah's abandoning a servant is that he makes him preoccupied with that which does not concern him. Meaning, when Allah is unhappy with someone, He keeps him busy in useless things. So if you want to know where you stand with Allah, look at what you're involved in. And I'm also going to give you a piece of advice from me, and that is that you read the article that has been written on Imam Ghazali. It's posted downstairs on the whiteboard, or if you ask one of the lads, they can send you the PDF. My few minutes here are not going to do justice to the life of one of Allah's dear servants, but inshallah the article will shed a bit more light about his personality. Anyway, the Khatam Sharif has started. I'm going to get going. Wakas.
Jazakallah, Saji. That was a really nice insight, and I'll definitely read the article, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammadin wa sallim. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammadin wa sallim. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammadin wa sallim.
की हक से फरिश्तों ने इकबाल की हम आज़ी गुस्ताख के शाहीन शहे लौलाक है तू रहनावर देशोक है तू रहनावर देशोक है मंजिल न कर कबूल 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 लैला भी हम नशी हो तो लैला भी हम नशी हो तो महमिल न कर कबूल लैला भी हम नशी हो तो महमिल न कर कबूल ऐ जुए आब पर के हो दरियाए तुम तेज ऐ जुए आब पर के हो दरियाए तुम तेज ऐ जुए आब पर के हो दरियाए तुम तेज साहिल तुझे अदा हो तो साहिल तुझे अदा हो तो साहिल न कर कबूल साहिल तुझे अदा हो तो साहिल न कर कबूल तू रहनावर देशोक है मंजिल न कर कबूल खोया न जा सनम कदाए कायनात में खोया न जा सनम कदाए कायनात में खोया न जा सनम कदाए कायनात में दिल न कर कबूल सुबह अज़ल ने मुझसे कहा जिब्राइल ने सुबह अज़ल ने मुझसे कहा जिब्राइल ने सुबह अज़ल ने मुझसे कहा जिब्राइल ने जो अक़ल का गुलाम हो जो अक़ल का गुलाम हो वो दिल न कर कबूल जो अक़ल का गुलाम हो वो दिल न कर कबूल तू रहना गर्दे शौक है मंजिल न कर कबूल लैला भी हम नशी हो तो महमिल न कर कबूल तू रहना गर्दे शौक है मंजिल न कर कबूल लैला भी हम नशी हो तो महमिल न कर कबूल
اللهم صل وسلم وبارك عليه وعلى آله اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وسلم اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وسلم اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وسلم
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Imam Ghazali's works, especially towards the end of his life, were very engaging and thought-provoking. One of the reasons why is because some of the works that he wrote were in response to the questions his students were asking. Now, for example, one of Imam Ghazali's books is called Ayyuhal Balad, the old beloved disciple. In this book, he answers many questions from the students and he lovingly advises them about various matters. In a nutshell, the majority of Imam Ghazali's work is focused on helping people overcome their animalistic characteristics so that they can take on angelic ones. He outlines detailed guidance so that anyone can achieve this, and he identifies the problems people have, such as greed, lust, and anger. Then he explains how you get rid of them. He isn't extreme. He doesn't say, move out of your house and move into a cave. No, he explains how you can balance dunya and spirituality. Now, the reason he could do this is because he himself went through the same struggles. So he generally cares about others. And because he himself went through the same struggles, he has written these works as a result of that same compassion. Now, when you read his works, this is one of the most apparent of things. Just like Ustad Zubair and Waqas, the student, demonstrated before, these works are written in such a way as if he's actually speaking directly to you. Now, everyone should make an effort to read his works, inshallah, because once you do, it's very, very difficult to let go. Now, before I finish, I want to share a small poem of Imam Ghazali's. Now, after he passed away, this poem I'm going to read was found underneath his pillow. Say to my brothers, when they see me dead, and weep for me, grieving for me, in sadness, do you think I'm dead? I swear by God, this is not me. My reality is my spirit, this was just my body. My garment was my dwelling for a time. I am a hidden treasure inside this body. I am a pearl that was imprisoned by this shell. But I've left all trials behind in it. I am a bird, this was once my cage. But I've left all my trials behind in it, and I've flown, leaving it as a token. I praise God who has set me free and made for me a dwelling in the heavenly heights. I was a dead man in your midst, but I've come to life and discarded my shroud. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammad
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. एक गरीब मियाँ बीवी सुन उन्होंने 3 बच्चे सुन 2 बेटे ते एक बेटी. एक बेटा नाम सी मुहम्मद, एक ना नाम सी अहमद. उस गरीब माऊ प्यो की ख्वाहिश सी जे बच्चे पढ़ी जान आसाना पढ़े. उन्हें बहुत दुआ कीतियां और जिसला वो आदमी फौत होने लगा तो आपने दोस्त किया है हमारे बच्चे ने तरबियत अच्छी करें तो पढ़ाई पर ध्यान दिया. जे आसान कुछ ना पढ़ी सके लेकिन आसान बच्चे इस तरह ना जाया. हर बड़े बंदे ने पिछा कोई निके बंदे भी होने. बड़े माने इमाम ने पिछा अनपढ़ माँ बाप होने. तो माशाअल्लाह तुसा अनपढ़ हो तो मैं उम्मीद करना तुसानी औलाद को कोई इमाम निकल सी इथों. इमाम मैं दी ना करी सके वो गूँ करी बनेंगे और कोई बंदे का पुत्र बना. अल्लाह ताला हिदायत नसीब अता फरमाए. इमाम अबू हामिद Muhammad ibn Muhammad Al-Ghazali Al-Tusi radiyallahu anhu. He was born in a village called Tabran, which is in Tus, which is near Mashhad, the city Mashhad. His father was a poor man, but he loved zikr and he loved sitting with pious people. He used to have a shop, and as soon as he finished his work, he would go looking for gatherings of dhikr and of association. And Rasulullah said, that person will be in the hereafter with the one he loves. So you don't have to be a sheikh, you don't have to be an imam, but if you have love for them, they will pull you through. So this poor man, this is what he did. He had 2 sons, Muhammad and Ahmed, and he prayed day and night and asked the shaykh to pray for his sons to become great scholars, great Sufi masters. And he passed away, and they were young. And he gave whatever wealth he had to his friend who was a Sufi and said, please look after my sons and educate them well. And this person kept his promise. He educated them until the money ran out. And then he said, I'm sorry, I don't have any wealth. So it is best you enroll in a madrasa and they will give you free food and accommodation and you can continue your studies. This is what these 2 brothers did. I know most of you guys live on students' loan, yeah? And many of you still owe a lot of student loan. But in those days, you didn't have these facilities, yeah? And it was dry bread, no beds, sleeping on the floor, and long hours of study. And both brothers, they were excellent students. And they met a local sheikh who's called Sheikh Yusuf al-Nasaj, who lived in the community. And he really liked both of these brothers because they had good manners. Now, some people, they assume that we'll adopt good manners, in the next life. No, you're supposed to adopt them here because you benefit if you have good manners. You go to someone and they focus on you. They say this person already has good manners, so we'll grant him something more. So Shaykh was very happy with them. They continued this education, and then Imam Ghazali went to another city for further education. And he made notes of the lessons his teacher did, Sheikh Ismaili. On the way back to his village, he, along with other people, were robbed by bandits, and they took his notes as well. Imam Ghazali panicked, and he said to those thieves, "Take any money I have. I'm a poor student, but please don't take my notes." They said, "What's in those notes that's so special?" He said, "Everything. All my knowledge is in those notes." So one of the thieves, he said, "Well, if I take your notes, then you got no knowledge." And Imam Ghazali, they said, "This is a message from Allah, that I should memorize what I'm learning." Now I've seen you people take notes, yeah? And some of you send your notes back to me, and I can't recognize where they come from. I don't remember saying that. Yeah? You got nice imagination, you know? Even when it's recorded, you get it wrong. So Imam Ghazali then made a qasam, not Pakistani qasam, Karam ji ni qasam, yeah, bache ni qasam, falane ni qasam. These people, they don't make fun of Islam. He said, "Allah, I promise from now on I will memorize every lesson of my teachers." So the thief gave him back that bundle of his notes. For the next 3 years, he memorized every thing that his teacher taught him. So he knew it was not depending on notes. And then both brothers, they went to a university which was based in Nishapur, called Jama Nizamiya. There was a great Shafi scholar. Imam Ghazali followed Shafi mazhab, yeah, called Imam Al-Haramain Jawaini, rahmatullah ta'ala. So they both became his students, and this was a top university. And Imam Ghazali, you have a circle, the inner circle, outer circle of students. And the highest ranked student is the one who sits next to the teacher, who reads the text for the rest of the students. So Imam Ghazali made it to that position. His teacher recognized his potential, his memories, manners, all that hard work. At the same time, in Nishapur was our grandmaster that you just read the Madad, Sheikh Bu Ali Farmadi radiyallahu anhu. Farmad is not far from Tus. And they had a Khanga in Nishapur, and Imam Ghazali became the Murid. So this is before the name Naqshbandi, this, that, yeah? So Imam Ghazali, if you talk about present day orders, he belongs to the Naqshbandiya, yeah? This chain. So that's his master, okay? So this is during the Seljuk time. Now you don't know anything about history, all you were earth ago, yeah? So Seljuk was a dynasty, and there were Sunni, Sufi people. And the Wazir was called Nizam al-Mulk, al-Tusi. And this university was named after it, because he used to sponsor it, aid it. He used to come into Nishapur. He was actually from Tus himself, originally. And among the students, he recognized Imam Ghazali's potential. This young man, he's got a lot of potential. He used to see him debate, argue with other students. And like Fergie used to send people scouting for talent. That's why he's got Giggsy and Scholes and all these people, when they're for nothing. Yeah? So some people look for talent, they scout. So this is what he was doing. And he saw the potential in Imam Ghazali. So when Imam al-Haravan passed away, Imam Ghazali was in his 30s. He was actually 34 years old. So Nizamuddin Mulk offered him to become director of Jamia Nizamiya in Baghdad. That's the capital. This is like today, one of you is offered, top post at Cambridge or Oxford. I doubt you guys are even going to get into it. I'm just saying, assume. There's no harm in assuming, is there? So, at the age of 34, he's given this position of authority, and he lectures in Nizam University. He has numerous students, and he's a master of all sciences. But he has a hole in his heart. Not the kind of hole you guys have. Dunya never fails, the black hole. Not that black hole. These days you can't even use the word black anymore. Yeah? Because some people of color, they start minding using black word. Yeah? What we call black is black and white is white. Yeah? Whether you like it or not. Muslim can't be racist, yeah, because Muslims aren't black or white. They're all colors. So he had this thing in his heart. I'm teaching, I'm preaching, I've studied Islam, I know the text, but what is my connection with Allah? Where do I stand before Allah? Now, we don't ask this question because we are what they call the stable Muslims. What happens in a stable? You eat and you leave dung. That's it, that's your life. Imam Ghazali was not like that. He asked himself, okay, you got all this knowledge, you got position, you got authority, you got fame, but what is your position before Allah? And he couldn't answer. And this hurt him so much, he physically became ill. This over time, by now he's married, he had children, lived a very balanced life, but this thing wouldn't go away. And he thought, what do I do about it? And then finally he came to his heart to give up everything, give up his position, his wealth, status, and to find the answer. So he wrote to the Khalifa, asked him to the Sultan, and said, please give me permission to leave my post. I will leave my brother Ahmed in charge, and I need to perform Hajj. And I will be away for a long time. And he set off on his own. Whatever he had earned through his teachings, he distributed to the poor people, only left his family enough to manage. He didn't know where he was going, how long he'd be gone, and he wanted to find the answer. So he went into the deserts, spent time on his own in caves, sat with different groups of Muslims to find this answer. And he couldn't find the answer. One group after another, Finally, he came across some traveling Sufis, dervishes. and he associated with them, and he observed them, and he found his answer. And the answer was, in order to know God, you need to know yourself. Man arafa nafsuhu faqad arafa rabbuhu. He knows himself, knows his God. You can't do it the other way around. So Imam Ghazali learned the lesson that you need to know yourself first before you can understand God. And this opened the door for him. Okay? And he learned about himself. If you read his book, it's like, scientists, everything under the microscope, every little detail. Why do we lift our finger? Why do we look like this? Why do we act like this? Everything's analyzed. Every action we do. Okay? So, now, this took 10 years, yeah? It wasn't a quick fix. In this time, he traveled through Syria, Jerusalem, Lebanon, Egypt, Iraq, all these places he traveled. And he hid himself. He used to work as a sweeper in a mosque. People didn't know this was the great Imam Ghazali. They thought his person cleans, the wudu area and the toilet area. This is how humble he was during this time. So finally he came back, and then Nizam al-Mulk had been martyred, his son had taken over, and he offered him a position in the University of Nishapur, which Imam Ghazali took. But he wasn't happy because he was never a political person. His concern was always deen and not politics. So he gave that position off and retired back to Dus with his family and brother. When he went back, he built two things. One, a khanqah for the Sufis, and one madrasa for the students. So this is the balance. These are the two wings you need in Islam. So he would teach the people fiqh, all the other things to do with Sharia, and then with the people who were spiritual, he would teach them the conduct, the purification, tazkiyah. So he had two sets of students, the Sufis and the normal students. And at the age of 53, okay, now I don't know what age Amir has reached, yeah? I think he reached 50 plus, yeah? So we will be expecting something, if he's not Imam Ghazali, at least, 10% of Imam Ghazali would do. So he fell ill. And he said to his brother, bring me the coffin, the shroud. He had prepared it. He kissed it and said, I am ready, my Lord. I accept your decision. Okay. Then this poem that Yasin read, this was found under his pillow. He had composed this the night before. And this poem tells you that human beings are not empty shells. Every human being contains within himself, a pearl. Imam Ghazali was one person who found that pearl. But he says that nobody is empty. This is foolish to think that, we're just fat slobs, we don't mean nothing. Yeah, we're just a burden upon the planet. They said you're wrong. Everyone has been given that pearl. You have to seek it to find it. But some people can't be bothered. But they said this exists in human beings. Allah did not create you without a purpose. Why would He just create a form? Like if you see the pearl that comes from the sea, it's inside the shell. That shell is worthless. You could take it to a shop, what are you going to get for the shell? Nothing. So this body is a shell. Inside Allah has placed that pearl. Seek it. This is not that Allah is, racist. He gave it to the white one and didn't give it to the black one. No, He gave it to everyone. So seek your own pearl. And then you will know your reality. And when you know your reality, you would say, Subhanallah, MashaAllah. Yeah? What a beauty. That's the reality, it's not fiction. Yeah? So His works, which we have been teaching in this mosque, one of His works is Ayyul Walad, which is, O son. He calls his student his son. Yeah? So he asks him question, and in this book he gives him the answers. And it is not like Nur Islam Mosque education is a redundant rule. Yeah? Imam Ghazali is a compassionate teacher. He loves his students. When he talks to them, it is never demeaning, It's always love and affection. So he calls him throughout the book, my son. You have asked for advice. It is easy to give advice, but it is difficult to follow advice. Everybody can give advice, but it's difficult to follow it. Then he says to him that all advice comes from the ma'd, and ma'd means mind, of prophethood. All good advice you are ever going to get is from Rasulullah. There is no other source of advice and counsel. So, if you have the teachings of Rasulullah, what advice do you need from anybody else? Yeah? Then another of their book is the famous Ihya Ulumuddin, the revival of religious sciences, and this book is comprehensive. Okay? If you think you're a sheikh, just read that book and you'll be going like that. Not yet. It puts you on ground reality, brings you down to earth. You think you achieved something, and they show you where you're at. Hold a mirror to you, yeah? Not in a demeaning way, but in a loving way. That you're at this place, and you have these obstacles to cover yet. Yeah? So Imam Ghazali is a person you can never be free of his teachings. So this is just introduction, and he is Imam Ghazali is for life. No matter who you are, once you start studying, reading, and then you cannot dispense with his teachings, yeah, because they are relevant. He passed away 1,000 years ago, yeah, nearly 1,000. His teaching, if you read his book, it's like he's writing about today. Every matter that you come across, it's like he's a modern writer. It's like today's matters, because he understands humanity. Now, we've been lucky to go to Iran, and there is Aramgah of Imam Ghazali in Tus. But his actual grave is hidden. So despite many efforts, not many people have been able to trace it. He's buried in that area, but the exact location is hidden by Allah for whatever reason. But alhamdulillah, by at least studying, we are paying our respect to Imam Ghazali radiallahu anhu. May Allah bless him and his family and his followers. Fatiha.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألم نشرح لك صدرك بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم يا قاضي الحاجات يا قاضي الحاجات بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم يا كافي المهمات يا بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم يا رافع الدرجات يا رافع الدرجات بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم يا حل المشكلات يا حل المشكلات بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم يا دافع البليات بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم يا شافي الأمراض يا شافي بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم يا مسبب الأسباب يا مسبب بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم يا مجيب الدعوات يا مجيب بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم يا أرحم الراحمين يا أرحم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على سيدنا بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا إله بسم الله الرحمن اللهم صل وسلم الفاتحة
Amen.